Hello and welcome back to Addie's Answers. This past weekend was the 32nd annual National AKISAN Convention, and it was held here in Houston. Where the national convention is always depends on the chapter where the national president is. And this year, the national president was from, you guessed it, Houston. So, now that is over, I will tell you my experience. That this is my first time going to a convention ever. So, you all know the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. This one, if you hear a glimpse of it, judge it. When you look at it, judge it. Because what you see is exactly what is on the inside. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, maybe they're renovating the inside and they do the outside later. Boy, was I wrong. I looked on the inside. I was like, what is this place? Like, the only carpet was on the floors and the rooms, and that's it. The first floor was tile. It looked like a place you would find at Mexico or a third world country, basically. Like you could see the ceiling. And there's a big difference between looking at the sky through a skylight and looking at the sky, because there was no ceiling. There's literally no ceiling at this hotel. Like, it was literally like those movies you see where the hotel looks run down. That's literally what it was. No offense to the hotel, but y'all could do better. Y'all could. So, on the appearance, I give it a 2 out of 5 stars. 2 because it was standing and running, and apparently it has passed its health and state inspections for the year. So that's why I give it a 2 out of 5. The food there, it was okay. The chicken I had for lunch on Saturday was a bit hard to not only cut but to chew as well. And my stomach apparently didn't eat either because I had the runs. It wasn't a big amount, but it was still the runs from that chicken. I remember. So I understand why it was here, because the main chapters that they had been emphasizing that this was the cheapest convention ever, and from looks of it, I can tell why it was so cheap. So plus, like, they wanted this to be hyped because this was the first convention in 20 years. Like, I just turned 30 last month. That means the last time it was in Houston was when I was 10. I'm 30 now. That's 20 years. That's a long time for a convention to not be here. 20 years. So the hotel room, because my mom booked a hotel room for Saturday nights. No, Friday nights. Yes, Friday night. Or was it Saturday? One night, for some strange reason. And apparently all that was left over was king bed rooms. Meaning, in a room there was one king bed. So thankfully, the bed fit both me, my child, and my mom. The bathroom was a bit small, on the small side. Like, I was expecting it to be a bit bigger, seeing as how the room itself was a medium size, And there was a freezer, I think. Yes, there was definitely a freezer. What is a fridge? There's something there to store food, but I don't remember whether it was a freezer or a fridge. I'm going with fridge. So I met a lot of people there. People who I haven't seen in years, decades, people who I haven't seen period because I haven't seen them. People who I talked to on GroupMe, on various social media sites. So it was cool seeing someone and be like, oh, are you this person? Oh, okay, that's good. Like, for example, Yudi from the Bronx, that's his name on GroupMe. For all those of you who are watching or who will watch. I met him, was it Saturday? I met him on Saturday. I'll tell you what I'm planning later. I met him on Saturday, and then that afternoon, I saw him again at the pool party. Anyways, so there were two main events for this convention: the cultural night, which is where everyone gathers and watches cultural displays, cultural dances, cultural anything basically. And the place was pretty small. Like I have seen bigger places, but then again, this is the cheapest convention ever. So plus they would have had to pay more money to rent another place for those 2 nights anyway. So yeah, if it was even possible, correct? Yeah, because places like that are usually booked months in advance. So yeah. So the cultural night when I did see it because I had to go home because I drove from home Thursday and Friday. It was okay. I will admit that there wasn't any awkward pauses or moments of silence when nothing was happening. The MC sang, which was something I haven't seen before, and he sounded okay. He didn't sound wonderful, but he didn't sound horrible either. He was okay. So, there we go. So, the mix and mingle was good. For the time I was there, it was good. I met people who I've never seen before, but have talked to on GroupMe. I met let's see who did I meet. I can remember now. There were just so many people. So yeah, then Saturday there was the youth elections. Congratulations, Stella Lyons, for being elected as National Youth President. Congratulations, Samantha, for being elected as National Youth VP. And Miss Aquarium 2019, Udema Anthony. Congratulations for that, as well as becoming National Youth Secretary. I look forward to what you have planned for the youth. So that went well. However, on Friday, there's supposed to be a mental health discussion for the youth, but because it got pushed back, it didn't happen, which is weird because for all of you on the National AKISAN Youth GroupMe, it was posted on the schedule for 1 to 3. However, the chairman of the planning committee said it was from 3 to 6. Also, now that I remember, it also said 3 to 6 on the schedule that was in front of the entrance of the. Once you enter, you'll see it of the hotel. That was weird because I was really looking forward to that because as someone who has worked with people with memory loss as well as my mom who works in the psych ward, I believe that I would have had a lot to contribute. So, this is my Duolingo alert telling me to practice Turkish. By the way, right now I am trying to learn French, Spanish, Turkish, Japanese, and Korean. I'm doing pretty well in French, Turkish, and Japanese. The others, the thing is, I haven't spoken Spanish since 7th grade, and like Japanese and Korean is basically characters that have sound, not like letters, but literally characters. So, anyways, after the election, there was pizza. Oh, speaking of the elections, I'm gonna say this and whatever and be done with it. So, there's supposed to be a community service also, either on Friday. Yes, a community service on Friday. This is the second time we have had community service at that place. The first time was at the first ever National Youth Retreat that was held here in Houston as well. And many people came. Like we rented a bus and not a bus, but a minivan, an SUV, whatever it's called, and it was full. This time, probably because people were out partying, living well, whatever, they were too tired to come. But I'm going to echo what Ukema's older sister said. If y'all can come out in hordes to party and club, why not to help the community? Like helping the community is something you can put on your resume that will help you get a job. Partying and clubbing is fun, but it only lasts for that time. And then eventually that have goes down. Doing community service is something you can put on your resume that will help you for years to come. So, also, the more they see us, the more they get to know us. And when it's time for us to do fundraising, they'll be more likely to donate funds if they know that we are trying to do something good. So I was pretty bummed that it was canceled, but I understand because no one else came. However, I also believe that the people who did come could have gone as well. So that is that. Let's see what else was there. Oh, there was a pool party. That was interesting. I would say it was interesting. I met some more people there. Spent time with one person who I'll tell you who I'll talk about later. And yeah, so after that there was the gala night. The gala night is like the main, like the number one main event for the convention because this is where every chapter dresses in their chapter uniform and does a presentation. However, not only the chapter but the local government also can do a presentation as well. I know that my mom is a member of AKISAN main chapter, but she's also part of a photo squad. local government organization as well. So she represented Oforugwa and not the main and not AKISAN. I mean they're the same thing, but she didn't put on the AKISAN uniform. She put on Oforugwa uniform. So I guess that's where I'm from, Oforugwa, LGA. But when I didn't know. That's because I've heard so many names of places that I'm like, so which one is it? Okay, so then that was Saturday. Sunday was the last day. Unfortunately, I couldn't hang out with them because I was at church. And when I looked at the group meet, it said that they were gonna be there for a while. So I'm like, okay, it's like 3 now, so they should be there by they should be there at like 6. So I went there I got there at 5:45, not knowing that to pay you literally have to pay to park, whether valet or regular. You still have to pay to park. So I parked at McDonald's and walked there, and I met Grace and Gloria there, who are also looking for people.